right? So once you are told whether you are government or opposition, right? Then the motions are released, 3 motions released, okay? Then you are told to rank the motions you like. As you know that there are 3 motions, right? A, B, C. You are supposed to pick what is your most preferred motion and least preferred. And in between you have like a general motion, right? Second most preferred, like second preference. Right? Then what you prefer as your second motion? What is the one you prefer most? What is the one you least prefer? And which motion is your second preference? So you can decide, either you be like, okay, I prefer doing motion B. You have to consider if you are going government or opposition, which one would be hard for you? Which one would be hard if you go as a government? Which one would give a disadvantage to you? Or you can check, okay, if we are going government, which one is more advantageous? So you'll be like, okay, this seems like advantageous to us. If we go government, it'll be easy for us to argue. So you'll be like, okay, B sounds good. Since we are going government, you're like, okay, our most preferred is B. You're like, which one is more disadvantageous to you? The most difficult one to propose. We're like, okay, A is the most difficult one. So A is the least preferred. Then second preference, somewhere in between. Not like really easy for you, not like really hard for you, somewhere in between, you put that as C. Okay. So both teams put their preference. These are you put your preference, okay? You say like, you text saying in the chat saying, first you have to say whether you are Gov or op, right? Let's say you are Gov. Then you say B, most preferred, C, second preferred, A, least preferred. 1, 2, 3. One is the one you prefer the most. 3 is the one you prefer least. 2 is the one in between. Okay. Then the next thing you have to do is you have to compare what the opposition says. Okay. What the opposition says, you have to compare and see. Right. Let's say they think that, they say that, okay, they want, their first preference is A. And their second preference is B. Their third preference is C. Like that, you have to compare. So what the adjudicator does is, depending on these preferences, you choose which motion you will be debating that time. Okay. How do you choose that?
In this case, it's B. In this case, it's B.
Right, yes, right?
Because A gets cut out because government gave 3 for A, and C also gets cut out because opposition gave 3 for C. So it has to be B.
So basically what we do is, whoever puts 3 is out, right? 3 means if any team says this is our least preference, you don't debate that, right? So because the government does not want to do A is cut out. So you are not doing A. From there also A is cut out. A is cut out, right? And these guys say that we don't want to do C, the C is also cut out. Right? That means like the only motion that hasn't been rejected by either of the parties is B, which means B will be the motion that you all will be doing. Okay. But imagine a situation like this. Imagine opposition says this. Opposition says, okay, they like doing E first. They also say C second. And according to them also A third. Then what do you do?
So it's of course B.
Yeah, why? Because both parties,
Because both the teams like it.
both the teams prefer the same motion, right?
Yeah.
Right? They prefer, I wanted green. Both teams prefer B. So look no further. You are doing this motion. Okay. So that's easy. So as long as both teams have chosen the same motion as their most preferred, you go with that. Or if both teams have put different least preferred motions, you take those two out and you take the remaining one. But now the problem comes if the ranking goes like this. Okay. Imagine opposition says, okay, according to them, C is number 1. B is number 2. A is number 3. Okay, what's the first thing you do? You check
Cut off A. Cut off A.
A, right? So you have to take A out. Okay, these guys don't want to do A. Fine, that's out. These guys also don't want to do A. That's also out. Then you check, okay, whether they have the same most preferred motion. No. These guys want to do C, right? They want to do C. They want to do B. Then what do you do?
I have a coin toss. I have a coin toss.
Coin toss. You ask the adjudicator to throw a coin and you choose B or C. Okay, one of the two. Understood?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, girls?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's give it a go anyway. Let's try this. I'll have you guys rank the motions. Do you want like a minute to rank the motions we had today? Let's try this.
Yeah,
Sir,
I think
sir.
if we could have a meet or something.
until 7:05, and sir, can you make some breakout groups for 5 minutes?
5 minutes, okay? Right. So I have received the rankings, right? Let me clear this. Right.
Can you tell us what government went?
Yes, that's the thing. Okay, by the way, Saqib, this is not how you should send the rank, okay? You just send that your most preferred second and least preferable third. Instead, you should say motion A, motion B, motion C. That's how you go with motion A dash your preference. And I assume that you say most preferred 2 means that your motion B, that you are referring to motion B, I believe, right? So
Yeah, yes, sir.
Government, B number 1, C number 3, right? Least preferred 2 in the sense. Sorry, least preferred 3. Government says least preferred 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that means for you, A is number 2. Right, then opposition has gone. To them, C is number 1. C is number 1, B is number 2. E is 2. A is 3. This is the opposition ranking. Okay, so what
Ultimately, it's going to be B.
Yeah, so we have to cut off C and A both. So it's going to be A is out, C is out, B. We are going with motion B. Right? Motion B. Okay, I'll give you prep time. 20
What,
minutes.
40?
No. 35, 7:35.
Guys, join up ASAP. Join now.
Okay.